Hello and welcome to Film Companion South. You're watching Not a Tolly Review. My name is Hriday Ranjan. This week's release is an anthology called Anger Tales, starring Suhas, Tharun Bhascker, Venkatesh Maha, Bindu Madhavi and Funny Acharya. The film is written and directed by Prabhala Tilak. Anger Tales as an anthology attempts to tackle the tricky issue of anger. It's something we all feel. It's something many of us express thanks to the wonderful joys of social media. In fact, if you think about your daily life, you must be getting at least mildly angry a few times in a day. Anger Tales is an anthology that deals with anger, but not in the way that we are shown anger in our movies. It's not by shouting or bashing up people or raising a storm. The characters in Anger Tales have unique ways of expressing their anger, each of them uncanny, some of them unpredictable. Writer-director Prabhala Tilak also creates 4 stories in which anger is caused due to a variety of reasons. There is the crumbling pressure of fan culture, and another story is about the pressure of being an attractive, well-settled man, the politics of food in a home, and the luxury of an afternoon nap. The casting of the film is also on point. Venkatesh Maha, Suhas and Ravindra Vijay feature in indie-looking stories that are in character with their filmography. Tharun Bhascker features in a story that has bright urban hues, much like the world he creates in his movies. The one truly maverick story features a newcomer in Funny Acharya. I don't know if the film was first made for a theatrical release and then converted into an OTT release, but I was impressed by the boldness of the writing. It's like the makers didn't really care about market norms and requirements. It's an anthology, and let us dive into the 4 stories. Venkatesh Maha and Suhas feature in a story about fan worship. A fan has promised other fans a benefit show, but there is chaos unfurling as the release time comes closer. When a die-hard fan stakes it all for his favorite star's movie, he's pushed to the brink by a local gunda, a superb turn by Suhas. The ending of the film made me go, what? But prepared me for what was coming later. Even if the writing in this one was rather surprising, the acting just didn't seem to explode for me. Or perhaps it was the makers wetting us for what was about to come later. Another story features newcomer Funny Acharya as a 32-year-old man. He has a shaky job and he's unmarried, he's losing his hair, and all he wants is a desk job in an AC office, a wife and a bare minimum life. This story really took me by surprise. Completely stripped of any fanfare, this story features none of the usual razzmatazz that accompany our films. In fact, this story dares to go as naked as possible. I mean, naked as a story. Kindly keep your perversions aside. Thank you. An Afternoon Nap features Bindu Madhavi and Ravindra Vijay as a couple struggling to find a place of their own. Even something as basic as an afternoon nap is beyond her reach. Bindu Madhavi's costumes and her diction are rather distracting, but it is Ravindra Vijay who gets the tougher role, that of a grey man, a rare multi-dimensional character in an anthology that mostly features one-note unidimensional characters. And finally, my favorite in the anthology is called Food Festival, a story of a meat-loving wife trapped in a family that has strict rules on their food habits. Tharun Bhascker is superb in this one as a young husband who doesn't really understand the difference between loving and overbearing. Now, this seemingly mundane plot turns out to be actually the most political of the 4 stories as you find out the history of their relationship through their history of food choices. The editing also gets funky in this one, and the background score switches to a chill EDM kind of a score. Music director Sai Smaran, in fact, seems to be having lots of fun with this anthology. He produces different genres of music based on the stories. For the earthier plots, he goes with like local music, but for the urban stories, he opts for funkier tunes. Anger Tales as an anthology remains true to its indie claims. The stories are all bold and don't stoop to the market needs, which is all well and good, but how does that translate for the viewer? Well, that's the tricky part. The editing is where Anger Tales truly suffers. 3 of the stories take their own sweet time to pick up, and even when they do, they don't really prepare you for their quirky endings. So while it is nice to get the unexpected, it doesn't seem like enough payoff for all the stories. In hindsight, perhaps the name Anger Tales is a bit misleading because the anthology is truly attempting to move off the commonly treaded path. If you are one with extremely commercial tastes, then Anger Tales might not work for you. But if, like me, you watch a movie and you're constantly trying to predict the ending, if you're the kind who would rather be surprised than comforted, give Anger Tales a shot. Like life, the anthology is a bit here, a bit there. Thank you so much for watching our review of the anthology Anger Tales. For more videos, reviews and interviews, please subscribe to Film Companion South on YouTube. Thank you.